I had a question.
Yeah.
So I downloaded the software, but I have the license code, but it still shows trial. It did not ask me to enter the license code. So how do I activate it?
So Synchro license, you don't need to enter the license key. It's different from some softwares. You just need to log into Connect center. So there's a connection client, Bentley connection client, and you just need to log in with your own username and password.
Yeah, I did that, but it's still it's connected, but my Synchro shows me that I have only 7 days trial left.
Yeah, so that's you can ignore this reminder and keep using it because that is because you are using the iModel plugin. If you don't want to see the reminder, you can just turn it off in the options over here. But I would say it doesn't influence your usage. You can just ignore this reminder and just close this reminder and keep using it.
All
So
right,
that's,
thank you.
yeah, don't need to worry about it. Okay, yeah. So this is the user interface of Synchro Pro. And you can see my screen right now. I will introduce this user interface, which is a little bit scary right now. But after you get familiar with it, it should be very easy to learn. So this bar, we call it ribbon. So we call it 3D ribbon, 4D review ribbon, project controls ribbon. So under the ribbon, we have a lot of tabs grouped under it. So for example, under the Windows ribbon, I have the 3D tab, I have the Gantt tab, and I have the 3D properties tab. And they are grouped under the Windows ribbons because they share similar functionalities. So for example, if I click 3D, you can see there's a new 3D window created. So if I click again, so it's creating another 3D view window. Or if I don't want it, I can just click the X to close it. So all of the tabs that is grouped under the windows, it represents the functionality that is related to Windows. Okay, and sometimes you may find the same tabs under different ribbons. For example, I can find the 3D filters under Navigator. So it's under Navigator. Okay. And I can also find the 3D filters under the 3D ribbon. So that's because 3D filters is related to 3D, so that's grouped under 3D. And also it is related to the Navigator because it's commonly used. So you can also find it under the Navigator. Okay. Okay. So that's the tabs and the ribbon. And on the left side of the screen, it is a list of all the 3D models, all the resource groups, and other filters. So it give you a general information that you have for this project. It gives you the general list of all the 3D objects, all the resources at the left side. And on the contrary, the right side window is the detailed information. So it is like properties panel. You have the task properties, resource properties, and 3D view properties. 3D properties. So here you can check out the details of all the project you have, all the items that you selected. And in the middle of the screen, it's a Gantt chart that you can check the task details and the bar chart. And on the bottom of the screen, it is a 3D view window. So after you import the 3D models, you can see the models from this window. And now let's start to import 3D models. So every one of you should have access to our training models by going to the support, which is next to Gantt chart and in the middle of your screen. So if you go to the support tab and you go to the Synchro training, okay, so support and Synchro training. So it will direct you to the local folder that you have, and then you have this file installed together with your installation of Synchro Pro. Or it is a training tutorial files, and you can click on the Synchro Pro training. And here we have SP files, manuals. So manuals is a PDF file, and you have the models and you have schedules. And I will copy these two folders and paste it to my desktop. So I just select these two folders and paste to my desktop, and you can do the same thing because later in this training, we will go to these two folders very frequently. So I copy these two folders. And paste it to my desktop. Okay. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions or if you don't have access to this folder. By the way, I will copy this link and paste it to the chat box just in case you didn't follow the steps just now.
Can you show us?
Yeah. So so just a second, let me just copy the path. So you can copy the path in the chat box and paste it to your file explorer, and will direct you to the folder location.
Why do we need them for?
So these are the folders for the training models and training schedules. Later we will use these folders very often, very frequently during the training. So I want to everyone to copy this folder and paste it to our desktop before we start this training.
Sorry, I must have come in late, but the Synchro Pro training app, where am I supposed to get those files from, download that application from?
You mean the training files?
No, the program you're working in.
This program. This program, I think, did you get email from my colleague or from Professor Du?
Yeah,
about
I forwarded the email to the class like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes my emails don't pick up all the ones that you send, Dr. Du.
Oh, it's fine. So I'm recording the tutorial, and I will resend the email once again. So I guess you can also follow the tutorial and install. I will send the install information again.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for interrupting. Just wanted to get that.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. This is today's like a quick start training. So it's if you want to get more detailed training, you can always go to this page. So let me just bring it up. Go to this page, Synchro Academy Matrix LMS. You can register for free, and I will give you all of you the access code at the end of this session. So, and it has a very detailed training materials that you can always refer to, and you can use it for a self-paced training. So it's a very good resource. Okay. So if you have copied the models and schedules folder to a desktop, let's start it to import the models first. So I go to the file and import, and I choose 3D. And you can also do it on your side. So go to File, Import, and 3D. So after I click on 3D, I can go to my desktop and click Models. And here I choose the Architecture, Structure, and Site, ASS. Then I hit open and I hit import. And it will ask me if I want to assign it to a new resource. I can directly hit new no assignment. And later I will explain what these three options represent. So I now here I just need to choose no assignment. And next, and finish. Okay. So now I have imported these models. Okay. And you can see after I import models, I can see the model and model structures from my left side window under the 3D objects. So in this 3D objects panel, I will get a list of all the 3D objects that I have in this model. So that's what I said just now. The left side window is general information. Okay. And this level of tree, so this tree level structure is inherited from your BIM model. So what you have in your BIM model, it will be reflected here in Synchro.
Can you please go back to show how to import the model?
Yeah. So go to File, Import, and 3D. Okay. So if you click on 3D, you need to select the model's architecture, site, and structure. So let me know if you find these models. Okay. I think did you find these models in the folder?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So then you can import these models, but you choose no assignment when it asks you to assign resources, and that's it. So after you import the models, you will see that the models is listed at your left side window under the 3D objects. And you can expand to different tree levels by clicking on the triangle in front of the models. Expand or collapse. And besides the triangle, there's also a square in front of each model. For example, I have the model architecture. And if I click on architecture, it will be highlighted in my view. So that refers to the highlighted objects, the architecture model. So if I deselect first, and then if I want to unload this model, I just need to uncheck. So uncheck from the box, and you can see the architecture is unloaded. And if I want to bring them back, I can just check this box to load it. Okay. And sometimes you may find this check box, semi-check, which is like grayed out but checked. That means for the models that is under this model, some of them are unchecked and some of them are checked. So we use the grayed out box to show that not all of the objects under it is checked.
I'm so sorry. For some reason, I can't see those boxes on my software.
Or in the 3D objects panel.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen with me? Because
Okay.
I think you may not be in other panels. So I will stop sharing. You can share your screen. Yeah. So if you go to your left bottom color, corner. Go down a little bit.
You said left?
Left down. Yeah, left down side. So here are some tabs, and you can click 3D objects.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
so yeah, no problem. Okay, let me. Okay, so I am sharing my screen again, and everyone can see my screen, and I will continue. So we can rotate this model by clicking on any part of this model and drag. So click and drag, and you are rotating this model. So if you want to zoom in and zoom out, you can use the middle button of your mouse. You can use the middle button of your mouse to scroll, to zoom in and zoom out. Okay. And if you want to like pan this model, you just need to press down the middle button of your mouse and pan this model. So we can rotate and zoom in, zoom out, and pan this model. Okay. And so that's pretty much the navigation of this model. If you want to know more detailed topics, you can go to the Academy website that I share with you. And next, we are gonna import the schedules. So I go to the.
Why do you have a lot of like tabs under the 3D objects? Where it says name, yeah, if you go down, you have so many tabs.
That's okay, because I think it is based on my last project. I have these tabs open, but I can close it if I don't need it. For example, if
I only have 3.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to worry about it. If I want to like close this, for example, close this 3D filter, I can just close it. If I want to bring them back, I can just click on the 3D filters, and now it's back. So I can just close it and turn it on whenever I want.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So yeah. So now I'm in my 3D objects, and also you can check your bottom left corner, and you can switch between different tabs. And we have resources, resource groups that must be blank. It's just under 3 objects, you will have these models. So let's uncheck the models of site and structure and only leave, uncheck site and architecture and only check the structure. So I uncheck other models because I want to first make my window clear, and then I want to make it lighter. So if it is unchecked, that will be released from the memory of my laptop, which makes the program faster. Okay, so uncheck the architecture and site, and only check the structure. Next, I will import the schedule. So I go to File, Import, and I choose P6. I choose Microsoft XML. And I will pause here for a few seconds for you to work on your side. And also, I think it doesn't hurt to mention that you can see we have different options. We import the schedules, we can import Microsoft project, we can import P6 from this option, and we can import even Excel sheet. So for this training file, the format is Microsoft project. So I will just choose File, Import, Microsoft project. Okay. And then I go to the desktop and go to the schedule folders, and I select the training project schedule, XML. Just that pay attention to the format of this file. it only will import XML file. So for other formats like MPP file, Synchro will not read that format. It will only read the XML format. We select the training project schedule and we import. So I hit open and next and import. So I'm assuming that everyone is in this tab, in this page.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're in this page, you can continue to hit finish, and you can see the schedule is imported to your program. Synchro is using a strong scheduling engine, critical path scheduling engine. So it is the same engine as P6 and the Microsoft project, which means whatever, maybe not whatever. So maybe almost what you can do in P6 and Microsoft project, you can do it in Synchro. It's very functional. You can change duration of the project, and you can change name of it. You can change start date, finish date of it. You can even change the link, which is the logic between these tasks. Okay. You see someone is sleepy. Okay, I hope this is not too boring. If you use scrollers, you can just zoom in and zoom out in the Gantt chart. And if you scroll in the task list, you can zoom in, you can scroll up and down to look through the list. And the triangle in front of the task is for collapsing and expanding. So you can also click on the triangle in front of the task to collapse and expand. Okay. So in this training, I will create a very simple assignment for the piles. And for other part of this building, it follows the same workflow. So you can see how I create the assignment, the resource from the piles objects, and assign the resource to the task. And you can repeat the workflow on your side to assign the pile caps and slab on grade. So this is also the same training file that we use in our online website. I will show you the Synchro Academy online website later. So in that website, we have a detailed video tutorial, and you can just follow the tutorial to finish the assignment of the building by yourself. Okay, so for me, I will just do it as a start. I will start with the piles. So let's say I have a bunch of piles, and if I want to like assign these piles to the correct task, I need to first like bring up the word. Okay, I need to first create a resource from 3D objects, and then I need to assign the resources to tasks. Okay, so it is 3D. I will assign to resource and assign resource to tasks. So that's the workflow, basic workflow. And when I create resources from 3D objects, I need to use the tool which is called Resource Wizard. And when I create Resource Wizard, I can assign many 3D objects into one resource, or I can assign one 3D objects to one resource. So the relationship is many to one or one to one. And when I assign the resource to tasks, I need to pay attention to the appearance profile, which is the color legend that we see in the case studies just now. And the relationship is many to many, which means one resource can be assigned to many tasks, and one task can have many resources assigned to it. So the resource is a very important concept. It's like a bridge connecting the 3D objects and the task. Okay, So that's the concept introduction. And if I go to the project, I will start with creating a resource from 3D objects. So I need to select the 3D objects first. And to select the piles, I can click one by one to select the piles. That's a way that is time consuming. Another way is that I can use the box selection. So I can press Shift or Control at my keyboard, and I can create a box by click and drag from top right to bottom left. Okay, I will do it again. So press Shift or Control in your keyboard, and I create a box from top right corner to left bottom corner, bottom left. And you can see there is a box when I'm dragging. And after I release my mouse and keyboard, you can see that all of the piles are selected. And correspondingly, all of the piles at the left side window is also selected. Okay, so that's the selection. We have selected the piles, and actually Synchro have other ways of doing the selection, and you can check out our video tutorials, or you can go to the help file. Or you can press F1 for the shortcut. So if I press F1, it will just jump you to the help file of Synchro, and if I search Windows selection, it will give you a detailed instructions. And here different directions actually give you different results. So if you go to top left to bottom right to top left, or top right to bottom left, so it gives you different result of the selection. And for our case, we will just, sorry. So for our case, we will just go from top right to bottom left. So if you want to unselect them, you just need to press Escape. So press the Escape button for unselect. And I will do it again. So press my Shift or Control button in my keyboard. And I create a box from the top right to bottom left. And the piles will be selected. All the objects that touches the box will be selected. Okay. And next, I will create a resource based on the selection of my 3D objects. And here I mentioned that I will take advantage of the tools called Resource Wizard, and I will show you how to use it. So based on my selection that I have just now, I need to go to Assign Resources ribbon and Resource Wizard. So this is like an icon with a wizard, and this tab, we call it Resource Wizard, and it is used to create a resource from 3D objects. So I choose the second option, Assign to a new resource. And next, now we'll call it Piles. And for the type, I choose materials. There are 4 types of options. So equipment is for construction equipment, like tower crane, crawler cranes, and humans for labor resource. Location is, I know it's a little bit weird, but we do have the location as a resource in Synchro. It will be used to show workspace, like the transparent box that is bonding the building or the equipment. And we have material resource. So material is the most commonly used type of resource. We use it for construction components. So I choose material as the type of this piles resource, and then for name, I give it piles. And then I will hit next. And I choose the first option. So assign to this resource, don't build tree. It's like combining the many resources, 3 objects you selected, and combining them into one resource. So that corresponds to the many-to-one relationship I just wrote just now. And there's a one-to-one relationship, and that relationship is when we choose other options. And if you have more interest, you can look at the help file or the video tutorial to compare the difference of these 4 options. And for this case, it's enough that we choose the first option, assign to this resource, don't build tree.
I have a question.
Yeah.
All the files are built at the same time?
Sorry, can you say it again? You're cut off just now.
Does that mean that all the files are be built at the same time?
So my understanding of the question is that, does that mean that all 3D objects is created to resources at the same time? Is that what you ask?
All the piles
Uh-huh.
are gonna
Mhm.
are gonna be constructed at the same time, like.
Yeah, that's correct. So if I choose the first option, all of the piles will be grouped into one resource, which means all of them is one piece. They grow together, they disappear together. And if you like, for example, if I want to assign it to demolition task, and all of them will disappear together.
Okay.
And if I assign them to an install task, all of them will appear together. So if, for example, in some real cases, we have some cases like part of the piles will be started first. So also if, sorry, it's my Siri. So for example, in that case, I can just select part of the piles, for example, these 2 rows of piles, and assign them to a resource only for the selected part. And after I create resource for them, I can select other rows of the piles. So it's actually a very good question. If you don't want the piles to grow together, at the same time, you can separate into separate resources. You can separate the 3D objects and assign them into different resources and assign it to different tasks. So it depends on the level of detail of your schedule. For this project, this training project, we can see that the structural piles, the task that I selected over here, it's just one task for all the piles. So it's enough that we choose the first option to assign all of the piles into one resource. But if we have multiple tasks, for example, structural piles, area 1, area 2, and area 3, we need to separate these 3D objects into 3 groups and create 3 resources based on the group of these piles and assign these 3 resources independently. So it's based on the structure of your Gantt chart. We choose different way of creating the resource based on your Gantt chart. Okay. Okay. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, so if no questions, I will continue. So I select these piles, go to resource wizard, and call it piles. So material, so next I will continue to next. And I choose the first choice to group all the resource into one piece. And the reason is that as I mentioned just now, in my Gantt chart, there is only one task for all the piles. So I just need to group them into one piece. And I finish. So after I hit finish, I will be able to check out my resources panel. And you can also do it on your side. So if you go to the resources tab at the tab at the bottom left corner, which is over here. Maybe it's in other part, but it should be located in the bottom left corner. So resources, and you can see the piles. There is only one resource listed. And if I click on the piles, all those 3D objects assigned to this pile will be selected. Okay. So that's the many to one relationship I just mentioned. So now we get the piles and the structural piles, and we just need to hit the button Assign Resources. So this is under the Assign Resources ribbon and Assign Resources tab. Or you can directly use the shortcut Control-Shift-A, Control-Shift-A. And you can see there is a number 1 in the 3D resources column. And if I drag my focus time, which is this red dashed line, if I drag this focus time, during the task, you can see before the task there is nothing. And when the task is active, the color is green. And when the task is finished, the color is changed to the actual color. So before task, there's nothing. And during the task, it's green color. And after task, it's changed to its actual color. One thing I want to mention about the profile is that we can actually change the color and the behavior of different profiles. So now it is using the install profile, but if I, for example, unassign it, and I can create my own profile, call it files, and I make it orange. For the growth simulation, I can make it bottom to top. And now if I select the resource piles and select the task structural piles, and if I assign it, you can see that before the task, there is nothing, and during the task is growing from bottom to top. And after task, it's changed to the actual color. So we can actually define our own way of creating this appearance profiles and change how it looks like. Okay.
Could you explain that again, please?
On the appearance profile.
Yeah, I already assigned the resources. Then what I need to do?
So you already have the resources, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you already have the resources, and then you select this resource you created. And then you look for the structural piles task in your Gantt chart. This task is under the office building, core and shell, and under construction. So under office building, construction, site construction, structural piles.
Okay.
Yeah, so you select both the resource piles and the task structural piles. So both of them should be selected, and you can hit this button, assign resources. Or you can use the shortcut Control-Shift-A.
Okay, and then?
So, and then you can just drag your focus type and see how it looks like. So I will use Control-Shift-A, and you can see there is the number in the 3D resources column. And you can drag your focus type, which is the red dashed line. Okay, you can drag the triangle of the red dashed line to move it and see how it looks like. Any questions about the whole workflow?
In my computer, they're not built continuously, they just appear.
Yeah, so this is because you're using the system default profiles, and I was just now showing how to create your own profiles. So I will delete this profile and I show everyone the step to create a profile. So you can follow my step now and unassign your resource from the task. So select the structural piles and unassign all resources. So let's do it again. So this time I will use a profile that I just created, which is the orange one. And let's restart to assign it again with the new profile. So to create your own profile, you just need to right click in the blank and add. And I will call it piles. So after I create the piles, I can keep this profile selected and make the color orange. So if you scroll down, there is active profile and active appearance and the color is green. So let's just make it orange.
I had a question. So how do I show the appearance profiles on my screen? Like how do I make it on?
Yeah, It is under assign resources ribbon, and appearance profiles.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, and you can right click in the white in the blank space and add. Okay. So after I make it orange, I can keep scrolling down and make the growth simulation to be from bottom to top. Make sure now the growth simulation is from bottom to top. Okay. So after you have finished this creating this profile, you can click this profile tiles that you just created. But I will pause here, just make sure everyone, any questions when you create the profile. Oh, I go, okay, I will guess the silence means everyone is good with it. Okay, and if any questions, do let me know. So I select this profile and I click on the resources piles and assign the piles to the structural piles again. So to assign it, we use Control-Shift-A. And now if you drag your focus time, you can see it will grow from bottom to top gradually.
So for me, it's still showing green. After I assigned it, after I created it, how do I assign it again? Because I already assigned it previously.
Yeah, you need to unassign it and reassign it again. Maybe I think the best way is that you can share your screen. Let me stop sharing.
So
And I can,
is there a way to for me to unassign? If you can show me, I can unassign.
yeah, so click on the structural powers task and unassign all the resources.
So the tab is not on for me for unassign all resources. Okay, so let me just select assigned.
Can you share your screen? Because I actually don't know which page you're in. So
Okay,
I think the most efficient way is that you share your screen.
all right. So if I select this structure files, that this one is.
Yeah, so can you go up, click on the foundation excavation that is above the structural pile. So click on this task and unassign all the resources. Yeah, so previously you assigned the piles to the foundation excavation. Now it's unassigned. And now let's click on the structural piles and assign the resource to tasks. But before do that, please check the profiles. So can you go back to the profiles panel?
Okay.
Right. So click on the piles.
Yes.
And go back to the resources panel. And press Control-Shift-A.
Yeah.
Okay, and now if you can drag your focus time.
I see.
Can you repeat again? What do you have to press? Control what?
Control-Shift-A is shortcut for assigning resources. Control-Shift-A. So if you pause here on the tab of assign resources, you can see that it is like assigning resources to task Control-Shift-A. So Control-Shift-A or Control-Shift-Alt-A, it's the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so that's a very basic assignment that we just created. We finished the piles, but for pile caps, slabs, slab on grade, and other slabs and roofs, the idea is the same. Okay. And if you want to know more details, you can feel free to go to the web page, Synchro Academy. So it's, just give me a second. This is the sign up link. So after you sign up, you will be able to log in. Sorry, I need to log in from another web page, but. So this is, we have different courses. We have a path called Synchro Pro Quick Start Learning Path. So, okay, so right here, Synchro 4D Scheduling Quick Start Learning Path. And under this learning path, we have all different courses. In the fundamentals courses, it's using the same model that we use in the training just now. And it's very detailed step-by-step instructions. And it will give you like instructions about other topics like 3D subdivision, the filtering, exporting animations, exporting the equipment. So all the features, you can find useful features over here. And if you want to assign, if you want to enroll to this path, I will share you the access code. Because when you, after you register, it will ask you to like input the access code to get access to this learning path. So you just need to use this access code. I will copy and paste to the chat box. Okay. So that's pretty much what I want to introduce today. First, we introduced the 4D concept, and then we talk about some case study of the use case of Pro, and we talk about XR, and we did a workshop of like a quick start of how to use Pro to get everyone started. And we introduced some resources, useful resources for self-learning. So I think we are a little bit like out of time over here, but if so for any questions, let's have a QA session. If any questions, let me know.
Any question from the class? No?
Yeah, I think maybe most of questions have been answered during the presentation. Yeah.
We will let you go. It seems like you have a busy day. And if the students have a question, please send your question to me, and I'm going to forward that to Siqi. Or do you mind me sharing your email to the students? You know, either way, let me know, okay?
Yeah, so if you go to the support tab in your Pro in the middle of the screen, and you will see that next to the Synchro training, next to submit idea, go up a little bit, and we have contact customer support. So if you click on it, it will direct you to the support system, Synchro support at bentley.com. So if any questions, you can just send your questions to this system. Or you can send questions to me. My email address is over here. So for support, usually we will just ask our support team to help with that. But if just a minor question, I can reply very quickly. So my email is sqi.li@bentley.com.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Siqi. And we will definitely follow up with you if the students have further questions.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Okay, class, let's have a 15-minute break. So let's return at 6:05. Okay, see you guys then.
Okay, see you.
Okay, thank you, Siqi. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Professor.